Okay, let's just speed up the beginning here. So this time I wanted to find out what would happen when I went to the mind control room, but I pressed the other button. And let's just cut to the ending here so we can find out right away.
Emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Oh my god, time for my big moment!
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again...
Well, that's an anticlimactic ending if I've ever seen one. Oh, there's some more. There's music here, so I guess it's not just another reset?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won!
Hurrah!
Defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
So that's the only thing I can do now. That's what I'm told. And then I will supposedly be free.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So I guess I just speedrun Stanley Parable? But it's still reset. Can't I break this loop? Can't I break the loop?
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Maybe that escape sign was the truth.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Maybe I'm supposed to pick escape. Well, I got the achievement to finish the game. So I guess I did finish it.
Yet there was not a single person. He was once
Okay, so I think the code was 4623. Ah, fuck! Shit!
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
No,
He began
that wasn't it.
tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf,
Huh?
hiding behind paintings. Desperate
That's not what he said.
situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible
2845.
secret that lay buried
I'll never
in the
remember
basement.
this.
And so the boss had
But this is probably the last time I'll go in
as
there.
quickly as possible. He didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
What?
So he relaxed for a few moments with some
Am I being punished? Narrator bastard, open the door! Open the door, you bastard! Oh man, even the boss is being monitored. Is he being mind controlled?
feeling soothed
But the camera is pointing
calmly walked forward
over
into the
here.
vent passageway.
Does he have a guy employed just to play the piano? And he's being monitored? It's weird. Hello, loading screen, my old friend. I think this was where the loading screen was? Yeah. Hello, loading, my old friend. now
Stanley
I shall
was
escape
with a large door
from
that
this
read, "Mine
false reality. Ha,
Although
gotcha
this
narrator.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth
Oh.
was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
So here I can actually turn around and go back.
Of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Got you.
Nope,
Stupid
still
narrator.
on board with death.
Oh. Is he trying to trick me? Is that it? Maybe this is the true ending.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Does this corridor ever
At
end?
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh. So it's that kind of escape, huh? Well, let's try it. Ah! Huh, I survived. Is this a minecart? Do I get to ride on a
The
minecart?
machine whirred into motion, and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise. It reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
What, will I get smashed?
Farewell,
it's fine.
Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single
narrator?
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
But
killing
that's not
him
happening.
instantly.
Is no? What? What? Huh?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What's this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you
What?
long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings, yeah, I can see that. This is quite a lovely room. It's the office! This is where I start? Oh my gosh. Is this like a commentary track? The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. This is a commentary track. Huh. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, but the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. This is some interesting stuff. Is it an Easter egg? Filing cabinets. I don't need this sign. The graphics aren't that bad that I can't tell. I can still turn this off. Beep boop. Beep boop beep. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Fun. Credits. Oh, now I have finished the game. Now I really finished it, now I get the credits. Wait, there are 2 doors here, that scares me. But what if the other one was better? Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? What? Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. Oh, so these were the photos used for the Greenlight. Oh, a bicycle. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who liked shooters, which was not our intention. So they actually had planned a live, die, repeat, Edge of Tomorrow sort of scenario, maybe? Alien base. You can see that's a placeholder base right there. It's just a square box with alien base written on it. And that's very Tron-esque. This is interesting. I like this. I hope I don't get too many spoilers, because I might want to just try some other stuff. From Alex, are we too slow for this shit? Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other room? After the second trailer we asked people to email the narrative for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. There is a skeleton inside you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thanks and goodbye. See, that's not a question. The lounge. Early version of the lounge. The apartment timer. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, I haven't gotten the apartment ending yet. Spoilers. The cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Yeah, I like the final version a lot better. I instantly thought it looked like a warehouse or something. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Yeah, I knew it. I knew you could do that. This is a maze! I don't think I could get out anymore. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Oh, I want to try that. But they say for a long time, so it sounds like we don't have that anymore. What's this then? Descending model. Descending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. I don't understand sending. That word's... nobody knows that words. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Descending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Oh, that is some Cyril's Portal inspiration, I think, that red button there. So this is strange Let's Play, just a museum tour. What's this then? For a time, the elevator in the mountain room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when player found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead.
Oh,
not going in there yet.
How they wish to destroy
On,
one
off.
another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
You know what? I guess I've had enough of this museum. This behind the scenes look at the Stanley parable. I'll go into the room. And I'll press one of the buttons. I like that it's so dark. It's interesting. Oh, it's just a switch. I can't choose. My choice are over. I can just choose not to press it. But off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape.
What? I'm hearing him?
There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Oh, that's
Stop
tempting.
now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do,
But I have
choose
to-
it. Don't
I have to
let
try
them
it.
choose for you. Don't
I
let
got saved
them
last time. Yeah, okay, that time I died. I wonder if I would have gotten a different ending if I'd chosen quit the menu that time? Wait, it's just black. It's not resetting. Oh my gosh. I have to. I didn't have a choice. I was tricked. Quit to menu. Okay, so I guess there's nothing new here. And hope you enjoyed watching me play the Stanley Parable. I don't think I'll be making any more videos from this. And I think an interesting idea for this is to make a bootleg version on YouTube, since the choices you make are quite binary, just like in a choose your own adventure book. You can choose one option or the other. You very rarely can choose from several ways to do something. So what I'm thinking is you could make a YouTube video, and when you get to choose the red or blue door, you can make a link in the YouTube video with annotations, so the viewer can choose either door red or the blue door, and then they get sent via link to another video where the Let's Player chooses the red door or the blue door, and then you can basically have a bootleg copy of the game. So that's an idea for other YouTubers to try, and I'll see you later.